Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hoon, together with Geoffrey Fyers today is presenting, and it's Sunday, the 19th of January 2025, or the 20th of December in the 12th year of Chongalguk. So we're grateful that you could all be here, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. Chanjin Champuninge, Chombe, Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 6. 천일국 주인, 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 손을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 6. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. I'd like to ask Reverend Kenji if you could offer the opening prayer, please.
Let's pray. Dearest Heavenly Parent, true parents of the heavens and humankind, today as the 20th of the 12th month of the 12th years of Chongalguk, and in the lunar, the solar calendar, so we are already entering into the 2025, the year of the blue snake, and we are so fortunate that we've got the true parents on us, and so we are now preparing for the Chonggyu Sanctum in Chongwon entrance ceremony, as well as the World Summit 2025 and all other the events coming up, and we really like to express our gratitude and appreciation to our heavenly parents, true parents, and also would like to express our determination to bring the victory for the events coming up and beyond. We, as the community of the Heavenly Parents Holy Community Oceania, we really would like to solidify the life of faith through the everyday devotion, together with the beloved brothers and sisters. Today, so we are going to listen to the message from the Reverend Geoffrey Fyers from the New Zealand, and let us open up our heart to be able to receive your message through him, so that we can carry the message to be able to practice in our daily lives. I report all those things on behalf of the brothers and sisters, in the name of King Watanabe, in the name of blessing of the family, I pray. Adieu.
Thank you, and let's give a warm welcome to Reverend Jeff as he shares with us this morning.
How's that looking?
Yep, it's looking good.
All right. So good morning, everyone. So I put sort of three elements sort of together here, hoping there's got some sort of sensible flow to it, but reading Father's words and also some little testimony, and then a bit of a report about what's some things happening in New Zealand. So anyway, thank you so much for coming and joining this morning. It's an amazing tradition that has been established for us by two parents this morning, Hondoke, that really keeps us alive. So anyway, you can read here. I just put some small thing here. People are seeds that need watering with the word. And Jesus even mentioned here, whoever drinks of the water that I will give him, he will not be thirsty again. So he's really talking about the word that he wanted to bring to us, and that by, can I say, ingesting this word, we would live and have true life. So I want to read now just some of True Father's words. If I can move things along. Yeah. So anyway, this is a speech that Father gave in 2007 in East Garden, and it's entitled The Era of Living for the Sake of Others, which is our go-to theme for life, really. Oops, I'm finding it a little bit hard to read. I haven't given myself much. Wanting John how to take out this top black thing, which shows all the audio video thing. How do I do that?
Yeah. This top black thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be able to, on the side, have something that says hide the tools, or hide. It gives you two
Oh,
options.
anyway, it's somehow gone away by.
We don't see it anyway. We just see it.
Yeah. Just me to read it. Okay. So these are Father's words. The era of living for the sake of others has come. So now we are moving towards a different world. Now the earth is becoming just like the spirit world. We must restore descendants of the fall. We have come to the world's final destination. It is time to put an end to the struggle between Cain and Abel through the UN. This struggle is no longer needed, for we have established the Peace Palace. The fight went on through 8 stages, from the individual, tribe, people, nation, world, and others. You should know that numerous times in history, Cain, the elder brother, has shed his younger brother's blood. There can be no peace in such a world. Human lives were suffering. The world was like an ocean of sorrow. This was the world where people were looking in vain for the origin of their life, the world where one could neither hope for nor trust in anything. Now we have passed through that world and are entering the kingdom of heaven after receiving God's blessing. This is a time to complete a unified structure on earth and in heaven, encompassing God's ideal families, tribes, peoples, nations, world, and the universe. We should do this in the name of God's royal family. The peace scripture serves this purpose, but you can't enter the heavenly kingdom the way you are. God and true Prince came to this world and walked the path of utmost suffering to build the model of victory. So you must follow their steps. Is there anyone among you, Americans, whose mind and body don't fight with each other? There must exist the absolute family with absolutely no possibility of divorce. But currently there are no absolute husbands, mothers, and fathers. Without this, everything will be destroyed and washed into the satanic world. God has been persevering to see the completion of everything he had lost. Complete individuals, families, tribes, peoples, nations, and world, and the universe. This is not a road you can just go back and forth on. Once we live for that world, we are bound to live there eternally. But people so far have been confused and ignorant about it. To awaken them to the truth, God sent them the Messiah, Savior, the true parents. That's what the history was for. Originally, religion was not needed at all. Now we have come to the age when the concept of religion itself can be denied, whether we are talking about Christianity, Confucianism, or Buddhism. Does God exist or not? What is his existence like? Who will liberate people from such life that is not even worth living? Is there true freedom in America? This is a problem everywhere. It is not God's ideal model. I came to America to create the model for unity. I am Korean. So what does this victorious and subject nation have to do with me? It is not fulfilling its responsibility as a subject nation and as a nation representing the UN. You can't achieve unification with sheer force. Such a world was in the past. 3 ideal purposes were supposed to be fulfilled in Adam's family. It couldn't be properly established. As I was working to reverse the very origin of the fall through the establishment of the true family, this evil world was shooting at me from all directions. I wasn't welcomed even on the individual level. Nations also opposed me. No American welcomed me as I was walking this path alone. A long time ago, before I met you, my brothers and sisters tried to stop me from going this way. They were holding on to me, not letting me go. But I closed my eyes and left my birthplace, ignoring them. So I took this path. But who welcomed me on it? Even God didn't. Initially, even he couldn't believe in Reverend Moon. Even Jesus, until recently, didn't believe in me. The Pope doesn't believe in me. God's children lived on this earth, but they were not original children in terms of their lineage. The blood in their veins is not the same. So if we do not achieve this change of blood lineage, if we don't align with this path, there is no point in erecting God's palace. Without this change of lineage, no matter how many times you pledged to reach the kingdom of heaven, you won't reach it. So I know many who are here, they also left their families, just like Father did, and their parents were crying, and their brothers and sisters were also so much against us going this path. So we can relate to Father's course in a small way, each one of us. And obviously we look around us and we see the world is at war, and but we do know and believe we have some relative peace in our families, and especially we have the blueprint, for building God's kingdom. So we are so blessed. I was thinking this morning, just prayed before, and I was thinking to myself, people often say things like, without Jesus, I'm nothing, well, certainly without true parents, I do believe I'm nothing, because they've really turned my life around to do something that I feel great value in and a great purpose. So thanks be to our true parents for walking this course. So I've got here Bible verse. Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. So many of us, even today, go through great difficulties in our families and with our, it's many situations, really. But I just found these cute things here. A diamond is a chunk of coal that did well under pressure. And just beside it there, it's got there, looks like perhaps a mother and child there looking a bit like clay. But anyway, it says, your dad's been under a lot of pressure lately. So the difficulties we go through definitely will refine us in this fire that we're going through. And so we can always take heart in such words. The value of the difficulties we go through is making us into the people that we need to become, to not crumble under any type of pressure. So God, I really feel, we are a small community even here in New Zealand, and we are doing the Chansimon prayer 5 nights a week, and it's very hard to do. But I do feel that it's really put us under a lot of pressure. Some of us are quite old, to endure. But, it's making us, I believe, resilient and strong. And we're receiving a lot of inspiration and insight, from this Chansimon prayer. So it's all part of God's plan to put us under pressure. And Father as well, Mother themselves have been under tremendous pressure, even until today. So I've got here some little reflections about nature. So Father learned from nature. And we know Father spent years almost out on the ocean, this great vast ocean, contemplating and learning about things he needed to know of course, in one sense, he's thinking about the feeding the world and establishing amazing industries down in South America, all kinds of things that were unbeknown to us, why Father went to South America and so on. But anyway, Father says here, we can find peace in the air we breathe, in the natural environment and in the people around us. So there are people around us also, our family members, especially in this community, who we can find some peace and comfort as we journey, this road together. So even myself, fortunately, I was able to spend a lot of time. I grew up, as you know, in a farm, and I was very fortunate. And I put here, fortunate to farm, nature is changeable but honest. And I always used to reflect on when I was in Zambia, one of my projects managing was a piggery. At the same time, there's a lot of theft all around the country. But when pigs, you feed them, they're honest, they grow fat. Sometimes you give people money and they don't spend it on what you ask them to spend it on, such as human beings. But nature is honest. You just need to know about it and operate according to its laws. And my family has spent 70 years growing watermelons, among other things. So we're experts. And when we came back from Palau, one of my brothers and my eldest son had grown this big crop of watermelons you see here. So we went down to help them with some of the harvest. And you can see that watermelon on the right there. That watermelon is there's hundreds of varieties of watermelons. They continue to develop them. And this one has got a very thin skin, and most of it is red, very sweet flesh. The bottom picture there is another time when we went down. That's another brother's crop. Miyuki's standing there. He'd probably harvest 100 or a couple hundred tons or even more every year from his huge watermelon crops. So anyway, what I'm saying here is I learned a lot, John, I'm just going to go back a minute here to reshare because I haven't put on my sound. Let me see how I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to unshare.
Yeah. Need to. Yeah.
Unshare. How do I unshare? Stop share. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'll just go back and share again. Put on the sound. Okay. Okay. I think that's all right. All right, yeah. So there's the watermelon. So not only I've always been farming, as a lot of you know, even when I went to Zambia, I was involved in a lot of cattle farming and many kind of things. But when I came back to New Zealand, back from Palau, I also got back into farming a little bit. And here's beekeeping. And some of you know me when I was beekeeping for about 7 years or so. As a hobby, I learned so much from bees. I realized really, just so much. Here's some hives that we had up there. We had about 40 hives altogether. There's Miyuki down there when we come to harvest the honey. And here's the bee. All right. Anyway, you can see bees buzzing around. The difficult thing about beekeeping is you often get stung, and it's pretty unavoidable. But anyway, so yeah, nature we learn from. So I've got here God's textbook is nature itself, and something that Mr. Rice said the other day, which we've heard before, but it just reminded me. He said that we got back much more than what we gave. That wasn't his exact words. In some event, I think he was talking about, and that just reminded me that, Father, this living for the sake of others, the more you give, the more you receive. And I've got here, you'll reap a harvest. When you plant a seed, you don't just get a seed back, you get a tree with fruit. So it's an amazing thing, that, you give a small thing and you get back, tremendous blessing, from what you give. And fathers really lived according to this principle to such an incredible degree. And we see the incredible, what we see, the fruit of our true parents' work. We are preparing to go to the opening, some of us, or at least online, observe the opening of the Chonwon, this incredible temple, and which has taken huge resources, and how fathers invested and mothers invested in universities and media all around the world. And still we are growing, according to this principle that, that when we invest, we receive back, and this is something we learn even in nature itself, Adam and Eve would not have had a Bible to guide them. They would have just merely learned from nature how things work, and we would have lived properly from the beginning. So I just want to give some little report now, segueing into this recent event we had. We were invited to a birthday party for this Women's Federation member, Nita. I think she must have been a member for almost 20 years, I think, but she's a Filipino lady. She's sitting beside Kenji there in the blue. I think she's 75 or 85? 85 years old. Wow. And she is full of life. And this room here is just a few of us who are here towards the end to take this group photo, but this place was actually packed with such a plethora of different kinds of people who came along to celebrate her 85th birthday. And so I want to just share that, our community in New Zealand, we are really immersing ourselves. We are not a big group, but we are multiplying ourselves by really involving ourselves, in other communities. And this is like a situation here. We see our Top Gun sisters here. If I can just so you can catch the spirit of that party. And then during that time, I was asked to be the MC. And I'll just go back again if I can. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was asked to be the MC. So I had an opportunity to talk for about, 7 or 8 minutes about Women's Federation. And there are a lot of women there. And I just urged them about this as well, women's era. And it's been coming down, through the last century and decades. Women are taking more responsibility in the world. And I urge them that they should know this. And once there is an equality found between men and women, we'll have a more balanced society. Anyway, I gave this talk, and the gentleman on the floor with the striped shirt, he's a pastor, Filipino pastor. And after I gave this talk, we're sitting, just here and there. And he came over and he just talked to me. He said, wow, that was really insightful. And since then, we have made a friendship. And I'm trying to help him find a little chapel, to help. To help, they don't have a place to worship, his little Filipino congregation. So, yeah, that was really, it's amazing that we have such content that we can share with people. And so these opportunities for such kind of fellowship can allow us to have opportunity to share, our true parents' wisdom with them. This is another occasion here, just recently, just last week, I think it was, or the week before. This is one pastor who, anyway, that's his wife there, 40 years old. So beside her is Pastor Singh. And the other person beside him is another pastor who's been on our PCLC, Pakistani pastor. So we went along to celebrate her birthday, and they asked me to also say some words, you know. So we're really trying to change the culture by immersing ourselves and sharing our understanding with others. So also, this is a study group that I have. So beside me there in the whitish colored shirt is Pastor Singh, who I've known for 3 years now. And we've started a study group. And the one on the one side is one time we met. This is another time on another occasion. So once a week now I meet and I teach them the divine principle. And one man is a lawyer, the one in the one on the far right side, and he is actually a Hindu. And it's amazing to be able to teach him the principle, you know, right from the very beginning. And he's so amazed. And anyway, Pastor Singh is urging me on, and he's trying to bring other people to join the study group. So that, yeah, it's a really, anyway, something I'm doing, one of my activities. This is a fellowship, also probably about 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now. On the one side is a men's group, and they're all very strong Christians. Some of them are pastors, and this group, we're able to share going around, and each one gives a testimony. So this is an ongoing breakfast prayer meeting, and each week, once a month, each one is going to give some kind of testimony. And so anyway, I'm looking forward to the time when I give my testimony. And I've shown this other picture on the other side before, but this is another time we met. We go outside each time and give a photo of an elders group. You can see Kathy there, and also one of the pastors who's came in our PCLC, Richard Kumar, Brother Robert is there as well. Anyway, this is just a little report I'm giving about what's going on in New Zealand. End of year function for one of our ambassador peace, Harjit Singh. Our Top Gun sisters are there and others are there. So we went along to support their end of year function, and also they always give us an opportunity to say something about UPF or about our work, you know, with this community. This is a regular activity for us. Our little group of Tongan sisters also performs, as well as our Top Gun sisters at these events. This is our end of year function. Anyway, you can see there just people came from our different communities. PCLC pastor down there on the right-hand side, Richard Kumar, offered an opening prayer. And we had an Ambassadors for Peace event. Plus we gave out some other awards to other people who contributed helping our community through the year. Right. And here's a little report about our chartered boat going on. So they're going out regularly now. Up on the top there, of course, you can see Leon and Robert, who are the architects of this business enterprise, who, as some of you know, they got money from one of our brothers, Gerald, to buy this boat. You can see the boat down there on the bottom. We went out to Holy Salt it with Kenji and team. And up on the top there, there's some customers there. These are the type of fish they're getting. I mean, every week they're going out these days, getting lots of customers. And yeah, it's a great inspiration to our community. And down on the bottom right, there are some customers there with a boatload of fish. So anyway, that's great hope for our community and that activity. Hopefully we can utilize it also to take out even some of our ambassadors for peace or our PCLC ministers or our youth. All these things are planned. So we have great hope for the future in this boat enterprise. All right, what else? Okay. So that's Yeah, all right. So anyways, what can I say? Yeah, anyway, the more we invest, the more result we get. Yeah, okay, that's what I have to say. So God bless you, everyone. Thank you for your patience. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Jeff, for sharing with us. And it's a really great testimony and presentation, and everything did flow well together. It's in three different parts, but I got a lot of inspiration out of it, and really that notion that a seed will reap a harvest, you get back a tree with fruit, and really that takes time. And people are seeds that need watering, and obviously you went straight on to living for the sake of others, and so I connected the two as being, well, living for the sake of others is the water for our inner seed to grow, because we know that when we do from divine principle, when we do good action, then we get good results. And that Bible quote, "Humble yourselves, under God, that He may lift you up in due time." So everything, really requires us to practice what you discovered in nature, and that you lived. And we know, and as you said, nature is honest. And it'd be nice if everyone we met was honest, but we know that's not the case. But by investing ourselves, in that process of living for the sake of others, then we certainly receive back so much more than what we gave. And looking at your consistent effort over the years, and that you've became truly respected and admired in the different communities. And so, yes, that is the same expansion that our true parents desire. And obviously the next requirement is that we need God's lineage on earth. Everyone we meet has a confused lineage, but getting it back to being God's lineage, we know there's only one door for that, and that's the blessing. And keep being consistent, and I'm sure you'll experience the grace of being able to bless all those communities in one go, because that's what is coming for all of us, as long as we never give up and do turn ourselves into diamonds under all that pressure. And there's a bit of heat there as well. When we experience that process. But when we look at Chompiong and how that's changed over the years, going there when it was just, sometimes it felt like a mudslide, and then in living in the tents, and then getting into buildings, and then wow, it's a city, and still only scratched the surface of the land that Father purchased way back in the 70s, knowing that this will be the heart not of just Korea but of the entire world, and still that one hindrance of the flow to the next level is the unification of North and South Korea. That has to come about. So many times Father talked about, and Mother talked about how we need the nation. We have sovereignty, we have people, but we need the nation in which to really stand out as being a community that has reached the global level. And yeah, I mean, yeah, we are still watering out there, and it's time from time to time we have to reap the harvest. I know the experience I had in America when Father gave the trucks and we went out to the land to collect the produce. There was, because of greed, and they wanted to keep the market price high, farmers who were unable to sell their crop would plough it back into the soil to keep, and when we had this, going out in Florida, we called it shared action, but we got the trucks. We went out, and I remember, the farmer saying, "Oh, you got 3 days. Then after that, I'm just going to plough it all back in." And we were able to get a couple of loads of, I don't know how many tons, 28,000 tons, some ridiculous number of potatoes. He had a crop of potatoes, and the two places that potatoes were grown were Florida or in Idaho, and this Frito-Lay chip company got a batch of potatoes from one farm, fried it up, and said, "Oh, it's frying too dark. I don't want it." So they just dumped this crop, and wow, I'm sure that's a great pain to a farmer who spends all that investment, and you've got a crop, and no one wants to buy it because they want to keep the price up. Anyway, that was something I experienced in the States, and a couple of times, with the different crops we were able to get before they plowed them back in. But so many people could have been fed in South America, in Mexico, just over the border, that could have done well with it, but they didn't want to give it away. Anyway, gone off into a different tangent there, but yeah, thank you. And I think it's amazing work that you're doing with that men's group and the elder group and the other ministers there, that I really appreciate your insights and sharing the principle with them. So thank you and congratulations. I'm sure with every harvest, you have to harvest from time to time so that you can plant more seed. Yeah. Anyway, some thoughts and reflections I had, and open it up to others who'd like to share. So thank you. Yes, Doug, go ahead.
Yeah, just a question for Geoffrey. Can you tell us more about your fishing trips? I love that name. I was amazed. And do you do a barbecue at the end of the fishing? And tell us about that, please.
Okay, so that that is a what would I like to call it, a mission or project for Leon and a Robert. So I don't know if you know Leon. He's a blessed brother in New Zealand with his Tongan wife and kids. So he's been doing the World Sports Fishing Federation. And last year we had a big tournament, and President Hori, many people came to that. So Leon has been doing that for many years. That's his thing, is Ocean Challenge, Ocean Providence. So he bought this boat. He has no money, but really wanted a boat. So he approached Brother Gerald, as you well know, who won a few $1 million a few years ago. And then Gerald said, "Okay, I'll give you money, but you have to pay me back." So anyway, so him and Robert went and bought this boat. And it's a licensed commercial fishing boat. So they're allowed to take out customers. We were never allowed to do that with our Good Go boats because we could never get them certified for commercial fishing. So that's their project, okay? So, I mean, every year my family goes out fishing, which is in February. The 8th, we're going out on that same boat with my kids and some of their friends. So we're going to go out fishing. But so, yeah, Yeah, I mean, so the project is really under Leon and a Robert, and it's their boat. They own the boat themselves, not a church boat. They bought it themselves here. But definitely Leon bought it for the church bigger picture, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if I can elaborate on that anymore, Doug.
Do they sit down and eat afterwards, after the fishing trips, and cook up what they catch?
Okay, so it's the commercial side of it. It's up to the customers what they want to do with their fish. Yes, so they can on some boats, not on that one actually, but some boats actually have a barbecue on the boat. And they do that, or they even on that boat they can sashimi it, you know. So usually when we go out, usually Miyuki will take stuff to sashimi knives and and soya sauce and all the stuff, you know. So we do that when we go out, and usually Miyuki does that. But when we go out, we bring the fish back, and depends on the different families that go out with us. But we bring the fish home, and Miyuki, chops it all up and freezes some. And always in the evening we have sashimi. So yeah, it depends on the boat. I mean, who's going out and what they want to do with their fish. Yeah.
Okay,
It's
thank you.
just the name they came up with.
The name from the boat came from the previous owner. He's an old guy with a beard, and he had this commercial fishing up in the Bay of Islands, part of New Zealand, but he had a heart attack and he's very unwell. So he wanted to sell the boat. So it's been a well-maintained boat. It's got a similar engine to the Good Go boat. It's a big Volvo engine.
Wow.
And so he's been helping them with the boat even now. If they need any help, he's there to help them. But yeah, that's the history of the boat here.
Very good. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. I wonder if Mr. Wright wanted to mention anything about, because we had a boat for a while that Mr. Wright invested in, the Hillary Sunset, that Kim Raymond looked after for many, many years in Queensland. That was also a commercial boat. I wonder if Mr. Wright wants to talk about that a little bit.
Right, good morning. Yeah, I think God created this universe and us, and it's incredible lot of nature, and also we can do incredible. Like I can see today Geoffrey really enjoying really nature. Like maybe remember stay in a city, it's not easy to practice like harvest watermelon. Also it's honey, and so he's I think Geoffrey is very experienced with the farm, and that kind of knowledge and experience really enjoy. But also I really just before talk about fishing, he's really daily life, and I'm a lot still involving food industry, how to give a food, like cooking at many things. But and I think like a Geoffrey really preparing really how can give to like a message, core message to the people, many different kind of people, or really that kind of practice, and also really giving encourage to people, birthday, like 8 years, Nita's birthday, so giving a hope, a joy to other people. This is really encouraging. So when he do in any kind of activity or farming or like a speech, everything, he has that kind of heart to really giving really kind of it's living for the sake of us. It is really great. really, and really appreciate a lot. They gave us a lot more rich, how life is can do quite many at the end. It is incredible. Yeah. Then just not so much time to start about the boat, and so it's when I attended Hawaii for Ocean Providence workshop, then Father asked us, you have to buy boat, whole boat. And then I back to here and talk to his the 11th son. Father, we received order from Father. This time, Father didn't say give money, so you have to do yourself. Then myself and the church together, altogether nearly, I think, $275,000. Then, but before we select a boat, what kind of boat to buy, we are looking for the person who can do. Like after we buy the boat, then looking for, the who can do. Not that way. Just before we purchasing decide boat, who can do. Then we ask to every 4 years. Then many people say, Kim Raymond, he's a person he can do this project. That's why I went to Gold Coast and also talked to the Kim all story. It's like a long story. Then Kim really decided, okay, I can take this responsibility. Yeah, then with his idea, what kind of boat we can buy, and his idea, his vision, then we bought here is Sunset. It's a 50 foot, and actually he was doing 10 year 2001 to 2011, just when two father gave it's a Pacific era Providence. It's a 10 year after 2000. Then before father passed away, during that time, 10 years, and so Kim and Naoko was looking after 10 years. They're not easy. Few years is okay, but 10 years, and because going to charter, especially weekend, they have a booking, and 10 people or 12 people booking, but suddenly bad weather, so he has to decide, oh, we can go. Then call to the customer, sorry, we can't go. Then lose its income, but no insurance. That's why nearly 27% happened with bad weather. Like I think if Leon take customer or this weekend, I don't know, this boat is really small, but I think maybe 8 people going. Then 8 people, but I don't know how much charge, like 150 or $1,000. But sorry, bad weather, and cannot go. Then suddenly lose. This is one risk, but anyway, it's really, we always many people really supported, and 10 years just before father passed away, keeping Ocean Providence flag. Then so they we like thanks. So we play this big venture, and Robert and Leon and support from New Zealand member, and keep going. and then age, mother's age, and really hope great success. We pray for them. Actually, we like to go there one day, and yeah. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, thank you. We see
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Wright. No, you got your hand up. Go ahead.
Good morning. Yeah, I just thank Geoffrey because he's really an inspiration, a model for us to follow because he's truly dedicated his whole self to witnessing. And that's a challenge for us, you know, how we can truly just focus on witnessing. And he does this every day, just his bread and butter or his, you know, is witnessing, who to witness to next. And you know, for me, it's a challenge to focus on that when you've got, things in the house and other families. But I think I need to, or even to get to the stage where you can actually share about the principle, even though I visit lots of family members, I mix among my community, but I'm not able to get to the stage where I can actually talk about the principle. And that's a challenge. And yeah. So anyway, yeah, it's really good to have to be able to one day that we can just give our whole self preparing to share the principle itself. Yeah, thank you, Geoffrey.
Thank you. No, go ahead, Mary. Get your hand up.
Good. Thank you so much, Geoffrey. Yeah, I really appreciate True Father's message that you shared this morning, and congratulations on everything you're accomplishing in New Zealand. Really showing a role model. Yeah, just wanted to thank you and really enjoyed your presentation this morning. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. It's actually is time now for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just bring up the screen. Okay, let's pray together. Thank you. Ju, thank you very much. Thank you again, Jeff, for sharing with us, and I hope everyone has a great day, and see you all again